problems in this area. Not being a technician, I realized that frequency is a very important issue. And it is indeed. This conference or this symposium is focused on small satellites and regulation. I strongly believe that small satellites, this is area which will develop in near future, and it's being developed all the time. And there are a lot of stakeholders which are waiting for the results. I hope that this meeting and the meeting which will follow will help to focus the efforts one way, because the regulation in frequency in this area, it's very important, and it can be very good engine to for further development. I will not speak too much longer. I would like to wish the conference success. I wish you a fruitful meeting, fruitful conference, fruitful symposium, and looking forward for the results of the conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. KOBERA. And now is the welcome speech from Czech Telecom authorities. Mr. Jaromir Novák is the chairman of the Council of Czech Telecommunication Office here in Prague. Thank you.
Dear Excellencies, dear respected guests, dear colleagues, dear friends, I would like to, on behalf of Czech Telecommunication Office, welcome you in Prague, the heart of the Europe. The Prague, the city by tradition not only city of beer but also city of cooperation. So I am very glad that Czech Technical University hosts this ITU symposium and workshop. And I'm also very happy that Mr. NC can participate in this meeting on the eve of World Telecommunications Conference. I hope that great spirit of cooperation will pervade this symposium, and this academic venue will come with positive results of this workshop. Also, I hope that you will have enough time to explore the Prague and the spring, which is coming very slowly, but it's already there. So please allow me to welcome you in Prague and wish you a very pleasant stay.
Thank you very much. And now I would like to invite the hosting representative, Mr. Professor Pavel RIPKA, the Dean of Faculty of Electrical Engineering of the Czech Technical University in Prague. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming here on behalf of the Faculty of Electrical Engineering and Czech Technical University. I will shorten my presentation as it's okay.
It's okay now.
As the time is running, so I just briefly mentioned the space activities here at Czech Technical University. This is not this is our main campus, but not our historical campus, which is located in the city center. Our history started in 1707, but some of our buildings are even older. Czech Technical University consists of 8 faculties, so electrical engineering is number 3. But not in ranking. Our research output is approximately 30% of the whole university, and regarding the citations in Web of Science, we have 60% of them. Czech Technical University is among the 500 best universities according to QS ranking. Between technical universities, it's number 150. And we are number between 150 and 200 also in electrical engineering and computer sciences. Well, these are the numbers, which is not so interesting. About 8–9% of our budget comes from the direct cooperation from industry, not financed by third parties, but contractual research. Okay, these are our academic partners and industrial partners. The faculty has 17 departments. Our structure is a bit of unusual, but it comes from the history. We have our own department of mathematics and own department of physics, for example. And here are just few examples how our departments have, what are the space activities of our department. So I start with Department of Electromagnetic Fields. They solve propagation of electromagnetic waves and related problems. Department of Radio Engineering, their main space activities are navigation systems, including Galileo, also radio telescopes and infrared cameras. These are the missions with their participation, and also TESOS, which is M4 proposal. Department of Telecommunication Engineering, which is headed by Professor Šimak, the main host here. Department of Measurement, where we participated at Mimosa satellite, which was a Czech satellite with our magnetometer on board. This is the launch from Russian military base in Plesetsk. We also participated at Swarm mission, but of course the main contractor was VZLU, which is a space and aerospace research institute in Prague, and they participated with a microaccelerometer. This is the device we developed for calibration of magnetometers and larger coils. We calibrate. These coils are owned by the Institute of Geophysics, and the larger ones, thank you, and the larger ones are in NASA Goddard Space Flight Center. Yeah, thank you. Okay, Czech TechSat, Mr. Leifer will be presenting this activity tomorrow afternoon. This is another M4 proposal for the far side of Moon. We hope this will be launched in 1925, just before I retire. We will contribute, okay, if the mission is approved, we will contribute by 4 magnetometers. 2 of them will be on the orbiter and 2 on the landers. Department of Electrotechnology, they have a testing laboratory on solar panels. Department of Cybernetics with FP7 space activities for autonomous systems. Department of Control Engineering with Space Master program. Space Master is a joint degree program with 4 other European universities. So that was all, and thank you for the attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dean. And now we do have a foreign welcome speaker, Mr. Yvon HENRI from ITU, Radiocommunication Bureau, Chief of SSD. Thank you.
Yes, and SSD means Space Service Departments. Well, Excellency, Mr. Eduard Mozylsky, Deputy Minister of Ministry of Industry and Trade of Czech Republic, Professor Pavel RIPKA, Dean of Faculties, ladies and gentlemen, dear participants and friends to the symposium. On behalf of the ITU Radiocommunication Director, Mr. François Rancy, which is busy today in Barcelona, but will be joining us tomorrow morning and will be with us for 2 days. I would like to welcome you at the first ever ITU Symposium and a workshop on small satellite regulation and communication system in this beautiful city of Prague. So far, space research, Earth explorations, amateur educational communities, like many other communities, are focused on leveraging space-based radiocommunication technologies and have shown an interest in utilizing the potential benefits which are offered by small satellites, in particular nanosatellite or picosatellite. And beyond this interest for quick developments and deployments, very often lower cost also, lower cost than any traditional larger satellite cost. Small satellites also provide a means for testing emerging technologies and economical commercial off-the-shelf components that may be useful for the future space missions, including those using larger satellite platforms. So I think that's really small satellites offer a lot of new opportunities for existing and new satellite operators, particularly like university, educational institutes, governments, and private industry that might not otherwise have considered or being able to afford the use of satellite technology. So that's all of the great things regarding small sat, pico, nano satellite, whatever. There is no definition, in fact, at the end of the day. And I think that during those 2 days, there will be a lot of questions about what we call small sat. Or pico nano satellites. The issue is that this growing interest, in fact, is, however, raising several legal and regulatory questions and challenges. And I think that one of the interests of those 2 days discussions, plus the workshop on Wednesday, is really to try to see what are those challenges and what are the best solutions and the simplest solutions that everybody could agree on in order to in a way to meet those challenges. It has been mentioned about WRC, and it's true that at the last conference, there was a resolution, 757, that was adopted by the conference on regulatory aspects for nano and pico satellites. And that particular resolution was requesting the IQR to examine the procedures for notifying space networks and consider possible modifications to enable the deployment and operation of all of those nano and pico satellites. And I think that the same resolution was also instructed the director of the Bureau to report to the next conference, which is WRC 15, on the result of these studies. We are roughly now 3 weeks away from CPM, which is Conference Preparatory Meeting, which is a conference preparing, in fact, the WRC, and we are 8 months short of the next WRC. And I think that during that WRC, there would be discussion on pico nano satellites as a result of these resolutions. And hopefully, there will be discussion to create an harmonious and sustainable development for pico nano satellite environments. Going to another subject, there could be some questions. Why are we meeting in Prague and not in Geneva or any other places? Well, I've tried to get really a fair answer to that. And I've seen that Prague is the 5th most visited city in Europe. So I think that it's a good reason, definitely. The weather also, although during the weekend we have to fight a little with rain, but it was great. I think then, as an engineer, that maybe, the reasons is surely for tourists, but during the weekend. But I think that, the main reason is certainly that there have been very famous people living here in Prague. Including astronomer Tycho Brahe and Johannes Kepler. And I think that we all like those people, at least as engineers, because of the laws of planetary motion. So I think that it could be a good reasons. Then I said, there is certainly another reasons. And some of those reasons, and has been presented by the Dean and Ministry also just before, they are very famous university here in Prague. I've been said that there is the historical Charles University, but I think that the oldest and certainly best technical university in Europe, which was founded in 1707, it's a Czech technical university and its faculty of electrical engineering, and it's an IT